Welcome to Rapid Reads Club. Imagine a world torn apart by injustice, revenge, and revolution. A world where love shines brightest in the darkest of times. This is the unforgettable story of A Tale of Two Cities, one of the greatest novels ever written by Charles Dickens. The novel begins with one of the most famous lines in literature. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. These words describe two cities, London and Paris. While some people enjoy wealth and comfort, and many others suffer from poverty, hunger, and oppression. In France, the common people are treated cruelly by the powerful aristocrats. One of the worst among them is the Marquis. He represents the arrogance and cruelty of the French nobility. The poor people have no voice, no justice, and no hope. Meanwhile, a man named Dr. Alexandre Manet is finally released from prison after spending 18 long years in the Bastille. No one can imagine the pain he has suffered. He has been locked away for so long that he has almost forgotten how to live a normal life. His loving daughter Lucy Manet welcomes him back with kindness and patience. Her love slowly helps her father to recover from the emotional wounds of imprisonment. Lucy becomes a symbol of compassion, hope, and healing throughout the story. As time passes, Lucy meets a young Frenchman named Charles Darnay. Unlike his aristocratic family, Darnay is kind, honest, and deeply troubled by the injustice committed by the French nobility. He rejects his family's wealth and privileges because he cannot support their cruel actions. Lucy and Charles fall in love and eventually marry. Their life seems peaceful and happy. But another man secretly loves Lucy as well. His name is Sidney Carton. Sidney Carton is intelligent and talented, yet he wastes his life through laziness and self-doubt. He believes he has no value and no future. Although he appears careless and unsuccessful, deep inside he possesses a noble heart. Sidney knows that Lucy does not love him romantically, yet he makes a promise. He tells her that he would willingly sacrifice anything, even his own life, for her happiness. At first, this promise seems like a simple expression of love, but later it becomes the most important moment in the entire novel. Meanwhile, the suffering people of France can no longer tolerate injustice. Their anger grows stronger every day. Eventually, the French Revolution erupts. The revolution begins with hope. The people demand freedom, equality, and justice. They storm the Bastille prison and challenge the power of the aristocracy. However, as the revolution continues, it becomes increasingly violent. Revenge replaces justice. Hatred replaces mercy. Thousands of people are arrested and executed. One of the revolutionaries is Madame Defarge. She carries deep resentment because her family suffered terribly at the hands of Aumont family. She becomes obsessed with revenge and wants every member of that family destroyed. Although Charles Darnay has rejected his family's cruel legacy, he cannot escape his family name. When Charles returns to France to help a farmer servant, he is arrested as an enemy of the revolution. He is sentenced to death by the guillotine. Lucy and Dr. Manet desperately try to save him. Dr. Manet uses his influence and his history as a former prisoner, but their efforts fail. Everything seems lost. Charles Darnay is destined to die. This is when Sidney Carton steps forward. Carton secretly travels to Paris because he looks remarkably similar to Charles Darnay. He creates a daring plan. He visits Charles in prison and switches places with him. Charles is secretly taken to safety while Sidney remains behind, knowing that he will face execution in Charles' place. For the first time in his life, Sidney Carton finds true purpose. The man who once believed his life had no value now gives it freely to save others. As he walks toward the guillotine, he feels peace rather than fear. He knows that Lucy, Charles, and their family will live because of his sacrifice. In the novel's most powerful moment, Sidney reflects on his decision and realizes that he is doing something far greater than anything he has ever done before. His sacrifice transforms him from a wasted man into a true hero. And so, while the revolution continues around him, Sidney Carton dies with courage, dignity, and love in his heart. This ending is both heartbreaking and inspiring as well. It reminds us that greatness is not measured by wealth, status, or success. It is measured by our willingness to help others and make sacrifices for those we love. So, what lessons can we learn from A Tale of Two Cities? First, love has the power to heal even the deepest wounds. Lucy's kindness helps her father recover from years of suffering. Second, revenge can destroy both individuals and societies. The French Revolution began as a fight for justice, but uncontrolled hatred turned it into a cycle of violence. Third, every person has the ability to change. Sidney Carton begins as a man without direction, but he becomes the greatest hero in the story. And finally, true courage is often found in selfless sacrifice. Sidney Carton's final act teaches us that one person's love and bravery can change many lives. More than a century after it was written, A Tale of Two Cities continues to inspire readers around the world. It is a story of love, sacrifice, redemption, and the eternal struggle between justice and revenge. And perhaps that is why this timeless masterpiece still speaks to us today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating book reviews and literature journeys.